Today I want to talk about when things get a little rough and crazy in your life, how you can maintain sanity and your health. Mainly speaking of things like when you get a new puppy. So yeah, this is Sadie. She is 10 weeks old tomorrow, and she is quite a little handful, but the smartest little cutest puppy in the world. Yeah, we've when we had to put Oso down back in November, we knew we still wanted a dog. He turned 2 the day before we had to put him down, so we were just not quite in that like stage of needing that much of a break between dogs. So we knew we wanted to get one. We were gonna wait till spring, but then we decided with camping and all the stuff that we like to do over the summer, we were gonna get a new dog. So we got Sadie, and she came into our lives 2 weeks ago, and I knew that things were gonna get really, really crazy for a while. I mean, when you have a new puppy, they don't sleep very much at all, and just even during the day, things are a lot different because we have to do the potty training and following around and making sure she doesn't eat my hand off. Please stop. And just things like that. Now, I've taken some precautions this time to make sure that I don't go into any sort of like adrenal fatigue or have a Hashimoto's flare, and also just to make sure that life is not as crazy busy as you know, it could possibly be. And I want to impart these things of advice to you just in case you have times of stress. I mean, this doesn't have to be something like a new puppy. It can be like trying to take care of a loved one if they went into the hospital, or you know, just any kind of thing that disrupts your normal life. So some of the things that I'm doing, before we even got Sadie, I made sure that I made a whole bunch of freezer meals. So I either cooked a whole bunch of stuff and put it into the freezer, like soups and stews and things that I'll easily defrost, that I can easily put into a crock pot or Instant Pot and just cook easily so I don't have to worry about dinner time. Dinner time definitely has seemed to be the worst for us, just because I get the kids from school and then they need help with their homework, but that's when Sadie is up and she like whines if we don't play with her, and she needs to go out quite a bit. So then like trying to make dinner amongst all of that is just so hard. So it's so much easier to just take something and throw it in the crock pot and then eat dinner when it's dinner time instead of having to worry about that extra added component. So freezer cooking meals was really a great thing. Prior to getting her, I would make some soups or stews, make at least double, if not triple, batches of things, and then take half of it and freeze that, so that way I would just have to throw it in the crock pot. And then and then like in my Autoimmune Collective membership site, I have some freezer meals that you don't have to cook at all. All you have to do is just put ingredients into a bag, and then when it's time to actually make it, all you have to do is just take it out. Some of them you have to thaw, some you don't have to, and then just throw them into a crock pot, Instant Pot, or like the oven or a stove. And so I've been using those a lot as well. Those you don't have to cook ahead of time, it's just you throw the ingredients into a bag. So having dinner out of the way has been a lifesaver for stress, at least. So I don't have to worry about that. I know I'm getting nutritious meals, and I know that I'm getting the nutrients that I need. But then speaking of nutrients, I have to actively make sure I eat a lot of veggies. And when you get into times of stress and stuff like this, a lot of times you go for your comfort foods. So I'm also making sure that I'm eating more veggies than usual. I'm definitely making that effort just to keep the nutrients up, to keep me out of like Hashimoto's flare because I'm lacking nutrients. One of the things I'm really enjoying right now is just having veggie juice. It's not something I typically drink and not on a regular basis, but I am drinking the Suja juice that doesn't have any sort of sweeteners in it, like no apple or anything like that. It does kind of like have an acquired taste, but I at least feel like I'm getting some nutrients in if I can't get all of the veggies in that I would typically get in. And then ever since she's come, she's gotten up at least once every night, except last night. She slept through the night last night. Hooray! Good job, Sadie. But every other night she's gotten up at least one night, or one time per night. So sleep has definitely been lacking. And sleep for me is a priority. I typically need between 8 and 9 hours of sleep to function properly. And so I've been going to bed a lot earlier. I've been going to bed somewhere between like 8:30 and 9 every night. My husband stays up and then takes her out and then puts her to bed, and then I get up in the middle of the night. So that's one way I've been dealing with it. And then I've been trying to take naps. I do have the luxury that I stay home, so I can do that, but it's definitely one of those things that when I can, I will try to do naps. In the past, I used to just drink coffee and try to power through it, but I've learned the hard way that that doesn't work for me. So taking at least, you know, one, maybe like hour-long nap per day has really helped make me stay sane, make me stay out of that complete sleep deprivation thing, and stay out of like really bad adrenal fatigue. And then as for coffee, I've been trying not to drink more than my usual like cup in the morning, just because I notice if I drink more than a cup, then I start getting sugar cravings. And then if I get sugar cravings, then I start down that whole rabbit hole of eating sweet things and all of that like I also think contribute to adrenal fatigue. So I'm trying to stay away from that. I do sometimes, depending on the day, like depending on how many times she got up at night, we'll drink one more cup of coffee, but it has to be before noon, nothing after noon, because I've noticed that if I drink it past noon, then I can't fall asleep properly at night and stay asleep. So that's another thing. And then one of my problems, and this has always been a problem with like my Hashimoto's, is that when she gets up in the middle of the night, I get back to bed and it takes me a good like hour to fall back asleep. And that's one reason why I have sleep deprivation issues, because like it's not like she's getting up that much, it's just me, when I get back to bed, I have such a hard problem falling back asleep. But this is gonna sound like the strangest tip, but I've tried the whole, like I take magnesium and all that, so I think it helps, but I've tried the whole like counting sheep and all these other meditation things, and none of that seems to work for me for falling back asleep. But trying to envision myself writing a like romance novel, it's like the weirdest thing, but like I like to read romance novels, and so like I've made up my own romance novel, and I have like characters, and they do, you know, like they go out on dates, and it's like they have fights, and it's just like a romance novel. And so every night when I'm trying to go back to sleep, I just like write another chapter in my mind of the thing that's happening in the romance novel, and it seems to really work. I never seem to get very far because I fall asleep. I just wanted to mention that just in case you are like me and have a hard time falling asleep, that maybe that's a different way to try to fall asleep. I don't know. So then in terms of movement, because she's on like a kind of a puppy schedule right now, she's basically like up for an hour, then she's sleeping for an hour, and then up for an hour. And it only gives me like 3 hours per day while the kids are at school to actually do anything. And so like this blog, trying to get errands done, any of these kind of things. So usually I would go for a 40-minute to 1 hour walk every day, and that really hasn't happened because I just haven't had the time. And right now she's only on like maybe a 10-minute walk. We're working on it. So I know that will change, but right now there's not a lot of movement involved. Like I sleep as long as I can, I take naps, and then like working out is just not a priority. But I'm not worried about it because it's just a season of my life. And just if you're going through this, that's the same kind of thing. It's just a season. I mean, don't expect to never work out again, but if you are going through so much like stress or busyness or something like that and you just can't do it, the stress of trying to fit it in is so much worse than actually like trying to get it in. So just give yourself grace and know that it's a temporary thing, and then you'll get back to it. I do miss my walks though. It's hard because like my walks are a lot of times where I get to do a lot of my thinking and all of that kind of stuff, and so I really haven't gotten that in. So hopefully it will be soon. Right? See how we do the camera. See how we do the camera. Hi! So I think that might be everything that I wanted to kind of ramble on about today. I am kind of rambling. It's the sleep deprivation part. So yeah, just making sure that if you can, plan ahead with your meals. If you can't, do them after the fact if you have like an hour or two to make some freezer meals, or ask someone else to do them for you. Just so you have those meals so that way you don't have to think about dinner. And then like making sure that you get enough sleep if you can, or if you're not like able to get it at night, that you're fitting in with naps or going to bed a lot earlier than usual. Yes, it does take away from your life, but it's just a season. It's just a temporary thing. And understanding that exercise, movement may not be there as much as you'd like, but again, a season, temporary thing. And then getting in as many nutrients as you can via veggies. If you have to do something like a juice or some sort of supplement or something like that, it may be what you have to do at this particular time. Just making all from scratch home cooked meals during a period like this probably is not realistic. And if you're going through this because you have a new puppy or a new baby, just enjoy it, because it's not gonna last very long, and then they're gonna be big and either not wanting to like cuddle with you, or they're gonna be like my kids and not even want to hang out with you. So just enjoy it and you'll get through it. Oh, here, I'll get some exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. So I actually just went outside with Sadie to go let her out and went up doing a little bit of a mini workout. I guess I was feeling good enough and not, because I had the whole full night of sleep last night. And so that's another thing that you can do, is try to fit in workouts wherever you can. I mean, I just did some push-ups against a chair, some squats, and a plank until she came up and tried to eat me while doing the plank, and then that stopped it. But at least I feel a little bit better that I got something in. So try that too. Oh, and one more thing. My friend Mickie has these workouts. She has a 5-minute workout in boots, ab workout, and I've done that several times. And I forgot about it until right now, but I think that might be something I might do later today too. It's just something that you can do in your boots and jeans, but yet you get a pretty good workout in. I'll link to that below if you want to go check that out from her as well.